Alright, so this is your short tutorial on how to work with binary numbers. So here we go. Binary numbers, here you're looking at the bits, 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. And so we want to, in this example, we're going to use the number 29 and try and figure out what combination will allow us to do this. And now the only two numbers we can use is the number 0 and the number 1. That's what binary coding uses. So this is what we look at. We start by comparing the numbers. We ask ourselves, if I'm trying to put 29 into this box right here, the question is 29 bigger than 128? And of course the answer is no. And because of that, we would put a 0 in the box. All right. Once again, we would compare it to 64. Is 29 bigger than 64? No, it's not. So there's a 0. And same thing would happen with 32. Since 29 is not bigger than 32, we're going to put a 0 in the box. But now we get to number 16. 29 is definitely bigger than 16. So what we're able to do is we're able to place a 1 in the box. From here, we're going to take, since we put 1 in there, we need to subtract 16 from the 29 that we had. So basically we're going to do this. We're going to take 29 minus the 16 we just used up, and of course we get 13 left over. So now we're going to use this number as we finish up our comparisons. So now I'm going to take 13, I'm going to compare 13 to 8. Is 13 bigger than 8? Once again, the answer is yes. And so we can place a 1 above that because that 13 was bigger than the 8. And so you see the words there. Once again, we're going to do the math. Here was step 1. That's how we got to 13. Now that we have 13 here, we're going to subtract 8, and we're left with 5. And now we're going on to the next one. Next one says 4 is 5 bigger than 4? Yes. And so we're going to place a 1 above the 4. You can read that sentence real quick. Hopefully you're catching on to how this works. Once again, here's the math coming out. 29 minus 16. So that's how we got to our 13. If we took that 13, we said that is bigger than 8. So then we subtracted 8. Came out with 5. Put that 1 up here. 5 minus 4 is going to give us a 1. And now we're going to use this 1 in our comparison to the number 2. And of course 1 is not bigger than 2. So we're going to place a 0. Looks like it got cut off in the video there. Put a 0 there. And then of course we're left with a 1. And 1 compared to a 1 is going to give us 1 because 1 can go into 1. And so finally the math to finish this off. So here's our binary number. Here's the math, how it worked. Following these steps, right? We got that 1, but 1 doesn't go into 2, so we put a 0 here. Then we have this 1 compared to this 1 here, which of course is going to subtract. And the 0 didn't show up on the screen, but there's a 0 down here somewhere hiding. And so in the end, for the number 29, you have this idea. So that's how a computer reads the number 29. Obviously it's kind of crazy how complex it gets inside of a computer when all we do is press 2 little keys on the screen. Alright, you have your own sample question on your quest as you're learning about computers. So go ahead and use this video to remind yourself how to do that. Alright, great.